Instagram Live. Thank you for your patience. Took us a few minutes, but we're here now. We're here with Lisa. She's one of our level 3 facilitators, so just bear with me. Looks like we're now live on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube, and we're ready to roll. So my name is Jeremy, and I'm going to be guiding us through this session, this Instagram Live, this Facebook Live, this YouTube. I'm here with Lisa Mort. She, again, is one of our level 3 breathwork facilitators. She's one of our most experienced facilitators. And I'm actually really excited to talk to her because she has so much insight and she does so many amazing sessions, group sessions, one-on-one sessions with people. So she'll have a lot of good feedback that she can share with the audience. So Lisa, why don't you just kind of start with a little bit of your background story, tell everyone how you're doing, and yeah, we'll kind of take it from there.
Sure. Thanks for having me, Jeremy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you great.
Okay. So my name's Lisa. I'm a level 3 facilitator. My actual background history is I was a hairstylist for 29 years. I worked behind a chair with a really successful career. And in that time, I'd worked for Redken as an educator. So I have a little experience with being an educator as well. And I've been able to carry that over into this. But I was first introduced to breath work. I actually in Rhythmia in Costa Rica. I met Gio there. I was told I was going to breath work. I had no idea what it was. I thought I was going to a yoga class. And I came out of it like, when did you give me the ayahuasca? I couldn't believe it. And I'll never forget just them looking at me and just kind of giggling and saying, "Oh, honey, that is not ayahuasca," which I soon learned, but it made such it was a profound impact just instantly after that first session. I knew that this was something that I needed personally. And I live in Ohio. And when I got back, we were just all coming out of the pandemic. And I am out right outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So I thought for sure Pittsburgh's a really big city, there'll be a class there. And there wasn't. So I thought maybe Columbus, Ohio is about 2 hours for me, 2.5 hours. I was willing to drive there once a week. There was no class. So I just continued doing them virtually because it helped me with my integration with plant medicine, and just I was feeling better, like for the first time in so long, that I knew I needed this. So when there wasn't a class in Pittsburgh or Columbus, my natural instinct is to teach. So I just started teaching it. And I remember grabbing a group of friends and saying, "Listen, I have no idea what I'm doing, but do you want to experience this?" So I kind of just did what I'd remembered. And before I knew it, I was teaching like 9 classes a week with nothing, but people were coming and then they'd bring friends. And when this started happening, I knew I needed to be certified, especially here in the US. So I just remember calling Gio, and Gio happened to be on a mat next to me at Rhythmia. So I bonded with him through throwing up, I was like, I just remember him looking at me being, "Man, I've been there. I know what you're going through." So I call him. I was like, "Gio, I'm teaching breath work, but I have no idea what I'm doing, and I want to be certified." So he was like, "Well, let's get you certified." And I went through the first level training, and I was already teaching it. I was already teaching, but now I understood what I was teaching. I understood the science behind it. I understood what I needed to do, what needed to be added, how things could change. And so then I was like, "Well, what's next? What's next?" And he's like, "How about we do the level 2 to where you could go on coaching?" And I am certified through Jack Canfield. He wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul book. So I trained under Jack Canfield to do coaching. And the breathwork was the missing piece. So naturally, I wanted to learn coaching with breathwork. So I went through level 2. And my nature again is to teach. So it was like, "Hey, I want to teach people to do this. How do we do that?" He's like, "Well, let's go through level 3." And that's what I did.
Okay, amazing. So you gave us quite an in-depth where it started. It started at Rhythmia. You met Gio, you started doing teaching on your own, then Gio helped you get certified. And then you took the level 1 certification, eventually took the level 2, which is a more in-depth kind of coaching style where you really go a lot deeper into the subconscious, how people remove trauma, blocks, suppressed emotions. And then from there, you went all the way up to level 3, where now you're able to train people to become level 1 facilitators.
Yes.
Right. So that's kind of where we're at now. But why don't you talk a little bit about how the actual initial training was for you and how it kind of, it sounds like you were doing trainings, you were doing facilitation on your own, but after taking the training, like how was the actual training for you, the level 1, and how did that change your style of facilitation? How did it improve your style of facilitation?
Well, I would say the biggest thing that it gave me a little bit of confidence behind what I was doing. Before I was going in facilitating, as a hairstylist, not really understanding everything that was happening. And when I started with the training, just the science behind it, that now I could explain, yeah, this is why this is happening. This is why you're feeling this way. And I was able to show up differently because I had this confidence in breath work, where there were times like you would be questioned, like, what is she doing? Does she even know what she's doing? And I met that adversity a lot. And after going through the training, it's like, listen, let's go, because I know what's going on. Like, the training prepared me for everything that was about to come in the next 3 years. So that I've been facilitating for 3 years now, and there's been a lot of bumps in the road. And that training is what got me through it. That knowing too that I had that to go back to say, hey, this is what I'm facing. What should I do here? Like, I had that support where without the training, I wouldn't have had this.
Okay, exactly. Right. So the training gave you the support. It gave you kind of the fundamental tools you needed to give you that confidence. Because it sounds like you were still facing a little bit of that imposter syndrome when you were,
Yeah, yeah,
who am I
yes,
to be doing this? But you had a calling for sure. And it's cool to actually hear that you tapped into that calling and look where it's brought you now. And maybe you could just talk a little bit too about the support in the community, because like one of the greatest things I think about elemental rhythm is the community behind it.
yeah.
So how have you found the community, and how has it supported you, and how do you find yourself supporting others?
Yeah, yeah, that's a great question. The support of the community, it took on a life of its own. So in the process of doing all this, I decided to step away from doing hair. So I work in the salon 1 day a week still, just because I love it. It is my passion. And but I knew that this is what I was supposed to do. So I had made the decision to step away from that career and open up my own space here. And I was scared to death. I was scared to death. For 29 years I did the same thing, and I was walking away from a lot. And I just remembered like calling Geo, Jess and Misha, they were really big parts of this too. And I was like, I'm going to do this, and I'm really scared. And just the support that they had, the encouragement, just the advice, the listen, you got this. How can we help? What do you need? It allowed me to move through that process. And what you use the word imposter syndrome, that was huge. And there's something that I learned, and this is something that I learned within this community as well, that imposter syndrome is actually an amazing thing that happens, because you're becoming somebody that you haven't been. So of course it's uncomfortable. Of course you don't know who she is yet. So being able to lean into the imposter syndrome and having the support of all of them around has just been, it's been a game changer. Like I've been able to move through this knowing that the guidance is there. And then in return to that, I have a lot of new facilitators reaching out, like, how the heck did you do it? So now it's like, listen, this is what worked for me. This is where I failed miserably at.
Yes.
Take it, at face value and see what would work for you.
Yeah, and that's so amazing because I wasn't there from the beginning, but I can see how it's evolved, and like through all these lessons and stuff, the new facilitators coming in, they're getting such a better training, and they're getting all the experience from like people like yourself and Geo have gone through right? And they're getting
Yeah.
all of that kind of dialed into them now. So the training is better, the community is better, the support is better, and
Yeah.
they're coming
Yeah.
out as better facilitators because of everything that you guys have learned. So amazing. That's such a powerful story that you're kind of sharing it. And I hope if anyone is actually watching this and you have questions, you can type them in the chat, and we'll feel free to answer them, because we do have a facilitator training coming up next weekend, May the 27th. It's an online training, so anyone can take it from anywhere. So if you're considering becoming a facilitator and do have questions, drop them in the chat, or we do offer these discovery calls now where you can book a call and some facilitator will be happy to answer the questions for you. So now going back to Lisa and her amazing story. Let me ask you this, and you've kind of answered it a little bit, but I'll make it a more direct question is like, what do you like the most about becoming a breathwork facilitator? And how do you feel like becoming a facilitator has changed the life and in return, some of the lives of the people that you've been facilitating with?
Yeah. That could be a book in itself. So I'm going to try to keep this really simple and to the
Sure.
point.
Okay.
But becoming a facilitator, watching what people experience in breathwork is not only healing for them, but it's healing for myself as well. So what I receive from being a facilitator is there's really not words to put to it, but to watch somebody in that instance, in that moment, connect to themselves, and they haven't been connected to themselves in a lifetime. The look on the face when they look at you, it's like, I see you. I get it. And to be able to hold that kind of space is, there's really not words to put to it. I can't not do it now. I can't not do it. Even if I didn't want to do this, I don't have a choice anymore.
Yes. It's so beautiful. And I think that's a big part of why people become facilitators is the ability to put that gift out there and in return help transform and heal so many people. I mean, I'm a facilitator as well, and I started facilitating more and more this year. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing it, just to kind of like give back, give that
Yeah.
gift back to people and transform and heal. And like, it's such a beautiful reason to do anything, right? When you're leading with love in a sense, you
Yeah.
can't go wrong, right? So,
Yeah.
okay. So we talked about quite a bit. We talked about the community, your journey. Um, Let me ask you this. So, as we do these trainings, there's always people that are kind of on the fence. They want to do it. They're not ready to do it. Financial commitment. They don't think they can do it. There's so many reasons. So what would you say to someone who is kind of on the fence right now? They're thinking about doing it, but they're not sure. What would you say to someone in that kind of situation?
If you weren't supposed to be a facilitator, this wouldn't have been put in front of you. So sometimes you just have to have the faith. All you need is the next step. The steps after that show up, but you just need to take that first step. You just need
Yeah,
to take it. But if it's in front of you, you're supposed to do this.
fair enough. Yeah. I should really love that, because like if you're called to do it, it'll find you. And it's
Yeah.
definitely finding the right people. Like I can't express how much the community is like just so amazing. Everyone
Yeah.
is like not trying to one up each other, but really trying to help the whole
Right.
community as a whole kind of level up. And Gio, like, he's so supportive of each and every facilitator. He takes the time. If anyone has any questions, he jumps onto Signal, WhatsApp. He takes calls. He's always trying to evolve the programming.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you are on the fence, we do have one coming up next week. There's, I think, an in-person one in July, which is also online, and there'll be more throughout the year. So,
Yeah.
if you're interested, you can check out the site, elementalrhythm.com. And as far as you go, Lisa, like if they wanted to connect with you or maybe come to one of your classes, like where can they find you? Where are you practicing out of?
Yeah.
And where can they find you online as well?
Online, my website is www.lisamort.com. On Instagram, you can find me at lisa.a.mort. My studio is called Compass. I'm here in Steubenville, Ohio, about probably about 40 minutes outside of Pittsburgh. I do trainings here and I also travel to do the trainings. So if you are even interested in a live in-person training in your area, feel free to reach out to me because I'm also willing to travel to where you're at. Uh, both trainings are amazing. I've experienced the in-person and the online. What you need, you're going to get. But I want to say one thing about the Signal group really quick.
Okay, go
At
for it.
any time, if you have a question, all you have to do is put it in the Signal group and everybody is jumping in like, hey, I experienced this, I experienced that. Like the support in the group that is in this Signal group, all the facilitators are on one thing and we share playlists, we share this worked, this didn't work, or hey, I have this marketing idea, what do you think? We have people that share their marketing plans. Like I can't say enough about everything that happens within there. And like you said, Gio's always in there. Great job cheering us on, telling us what, this is amazing. So if you're looking, uh, if especially if you need that, like we're human, we need that support of each other. I just cannot say enough about the family here because everybody has got everybody's back.
Yeah, all right, very well said. So I think we're going to wrap it up. It's been very informative. You definitely have a great story, and I'm really happy that we were able to bring you on, go live. I was trying to see if anyone had any questions, but there's no other questions at this time. So they will cap it at that. And yeah, check Lisa out online, guys. She puts out amazing content, and she does virtual trainings as well. And again, you can always go to elementalrhythm.com. We offer live sessions every Monday and Thursday afternoons now. So if you're new to breathwork and you want to try it out, that's another path you could take. So thank you so much, Lisa.
Thank
It was great
you.
chatting with you. And
Nice
we'll see
talking to
everyone
you.
soon. Okay.
Bye-bye.